everybody, this is Virginia, Ginger's Rant Show, and it is Friday, November 11th. And of course, we're honoring those that we lost during the war, especially the First World War, and those that are subsequent wars, and others that are still alive, and those that we lost. May they rest in peace. Hi, Nancy. How's it going? And almost been getting rain here off and on, which we kind of need it more than anything. I feel sorry for Florida. They really got slammed hard again this time. I don't know if any news about he who shall not be named property over in West Palm Beach, but the storm was a few miles off from them. And of course he refuses to evacuate, which is really dumb of him, but let karma bite him. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sleepy. Loki was having one of his zoomies last night, so he kept me awake. Kept zooming around my room, my apartment, and crazy cat. Anyway, so I don't know when it's going to occur, but I am scheduled for surgery on my left hand. I have what they call trigger finger, and it's getting worse. And sometimes it swells up. When I use it too much, it will swell up the joint down there. So I try not to use it that much. It's a little difficult when you're having to type sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't want to work properly. So they feel that maybe get surgery done and get it, so clear it so it'll work, everything will work properly. Right now it's starting to affect these two fingers here anytime I work this finger. And of course these two are pretty much connected. So is this one, but when this locks up, then these two act up sometimes because one affects the other. But I'll keep you posted when that happens. And when it does, I may not be on all that much. Been trying to keep it quiet and keep it rested. And another thing too, if my daughter is listening to this, I haven't tried the TV set yet, but I will. My daughter got the TV set fixed up in here. She found the power cord and everything and got all set up. So I'm good to go. So I could watch the Seahawks game that's happening over in Munich, Germany. They're playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course there's a lot more Seahawks fans over there in Germany than there are Bucs fans. So it'll be interesting. Now for on to the news. Still, the ballots are still being counted in the more close call races. Kari Lake is still acting up, but I think she's gonna lose. She's gonna lose on this one. Still, the Senate and House is, of course, up in the air as far as who got control or who has majority. And because it's very, very close, it's very, very razor thin. Now, from what I understand, it looks like the GOP is pushing out Trump. They don't want anything to do with him now. And they are blaming him for the losses in the race. And because he makes it all by himself and not promoting the candidate that's running for said office. And that's part of the problem. And he caused the problem. But they need many other GOP, those that are still in office, and they don't run for election until the general election, presidential election in 2024. They said they need better quality candidates. They need to vet them better. And more people do realize that Democrats do more. They are more toward making things better for everybody. In other words, they're putting country over party, and they always have. The GOP, not so much. And the GOP, hey Dusty, good seeing ya. How you feeling? Are you feeling better? I hope. So you know, next Tuesday also, I'm going in for my double whammy. I'm getting both the flu and the booster shot, COVID booster shot, getting both. My doctor suggested that I do that. Said they're not that bad, really. Flu shot, what they call the super senior flu shot, which I'll be getting. And they, yeah, we do. We need term limits on them. Because we have term limits on the president, right? So what's wrong with having term limits on the House and Senate? Now I know there's a term limits in Florida. I do know that. Okay, good. Yeah, get the super senior flu shot. They do have one for them. And last year I got my, what they call the senior pneumonia shot. Got that. So, I don't catch it. Anytime I get a cold, I go bronchitis immediately. And, so needless to say, I had to get the pneumonia shot. So I just don't really want it. I had walking pneumonia once, years ago, and I don't want to repeat the experience. So anyway, back to the news. Let's see. Now on December 5th or 6th, there is a runoff between Warnock and Walker. Yeah, they need to do heavy reform in the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court. Yes. They need to retire at the age of 69, and that's it. Not at, lifetime. Because many of the Supreme Court judges there are way up in their 80s and 90s, and you think they'd be by now that they're ready to retire. And just enjoy retirement and not having to worry about anything. So, I agree with you there, Dusty. We just need to push on that. That's what we really need to do. Push, push, push. Nag, nag, nag. That's what we really need to do. Because if they don't like it tough and somebody says, well, that's not going to do any good, and I go, well, then it sounds like to me you're condoning it. That's my thing on that. Yes, the ones that lied to get in, they need to be given the boot. Roberts need to give them the boot. And President now, since they were appointed, the executive branch could jolly well just haul them out and say, no more. We're replacing you. That's what needs to be done. That part needs to change. They need to change that. They need to have an oversight board to oversight the Supreme Court. In other words, supervise them on stuff, appointments and things like that. Not so much on the law cases or anything, but on qualifications, what they should do. And the good news, guess what? Ukraine had given Russia the boot out of Kherson. They overtaken the city of Kherson this morning, and Russia has retreated from Kherson. And people there in Kherson are thrilled. They're thrilled to have their Ukrainians there, have their fellow countrymen there. So Russia's getting their butt kicked. I mean, really getting their butt kicked. Yeah, I'm very happy for Ukraine. Yeah, this happened very early this morning. It was on the news, and even President Zelensky is happy about that. The death toll count in the war, the Russians have reached 100,000 of their troops that got killed. And Ukraine is not so much in the Ukraine side. They have advanced equipment and they have advanced safety protocols and everything. Those guys know how to do it, and they're getting Germany's help. They're getting Yugoslavia's help too. The Baltic states, and because they just don't want to deal with Russia anymore. They really don't. So I'm really happy about that. So, good going, Ukraine. Keep on pushing. And also, this stuff about an hour or so ago, also on the news, just hit on the news, breaking news. The island of Tonga got hit by a 7.3 earthquake, on Richter earthquake there, and they are expecting a tsunami. Because it really shook the region really hard, the islands and everything, and people are just bracing themselves and just hope it doesn't materialize. But they're taking precautions, and they're heading for higher ground. As I said before, Mother Nature's a little bit pissed. She is not happy. We need to make her happy. We need to work with her and make her happy. Speaking of Mother Nature, of course you know Hurricane Nicole passed through Florida a few days ago, and I hope you're okay and there's no damage in your area, Dusty. As I said before, he who shall not be named refused to evacuate Mar-a-Lago. Oh yeah, it is real. It is real. We've been getting wind. We had atmospheric rivers last weekend. That's right. You moved to Vermont, or you're no longer in Florida, right? That's you live in Vermont now? I love Vermont. It's beautiful up there. The last time I was in Vermont was back in 1987? No. Last time I was in Vermont. Oh, your son's in Florida. Okay. I'm trying to remember last time I was in Vermont. Oh, okay. Last time I was in Vermont was summer of 1977. That was the last time I was in Vermont. And beautiful area. I really liked it back there. My brother-in-law was teaching at a military college there. Oh, that's good. That's good. But it's beautiful. So anyway, some of the homes that were lost in Hurricane Nicole, when the shoreline really took a beating, and there was a 6-foot surge, and They also evacuated a lot of the condos that were along there too. Yeah, West, I think it's Burrow Beach, which is a little further down from Mar-a-Lago. A lot of people had to evacuate because they weren't sure, how stable that is right there and everything. They're still getting some water surge. And they lost their seawall. So, glad I don't live down there. So, nice place to visit, but wouldn't want to live there. One place I wouldn't mind living is in Vermont. I wouldn't mind living in upstate New York. Because I like the old towns, the old homes and everything up there. But, no, I just don't really want to care to live in Florida or any place else. It's either here in Washington State or Vermont or upstate New York. Or Maine. It's beautiful there too. So anyway, sorry, I got it. There we go. Had a sty break in my eye, and so you know how you do it. Let's see. Well, they're keeping an eye on the too close to call races. There was some insider or something stating that McCarthy is now instructing his staff members to call Mr. Speaker where he hasn't been. They haven't conducted the election for Speaker of the House yet. Because they don't know if there's going to be a majority or not. And Nancy Pelosi's looking at him like he's gone bonkers. He's putting all his eggs in the basket. He's going to be ending for disappointment. A lot of the other members don't really want him to be Speaker of the House. They don't want him to have that position. They feel like he's not really qualified for it. And from what I remember, the last time when Nancy, 2 years ago when Nancy won her re-election in the House seat, she said in 2024 she may not run. She may just retire. I don't know. I don't know if she won or not. I hope not. I'd like to see her given the boot. And Fetterman won. He won for the Pennsylvania State Senate, or for Pennsylvania Senator spot for the Capitol. Yeah. Let me see if there's any more news on Goldberg. Let's see. Let me check something. There's still a toss-up in key races. system's being slow right now. Ah, okay. So far, um, Dusty. Okay, according to New York Post, far-right Rep. Lauren Boebert was about 2,200 votes behind Democrat challenger Adam Fish, and Fish held about 1.2% more of the vote than the first-term lawmaker. The ballots are still counted as of 4:30 yesterday, or day before yesterday. District sprawls across half the western state and tends to lean right due to large rural population that supported Boebert in 2020, but it doesn't look like it. So, I think she's on the way out, which is good. Well, a lot of Colorado wasn't really very happy with her because they tried contacting her and they said, okay, what are you working on, what are you doing, and everything else. And she kept ignoring her constituents, which is a big no-no because you work for them. And your constituents are your bosses. And I think that's the part she didn't understand. Yeah, I understand that he is. Oh, and she also lost her restaurant last year. The owner of the building where her restaurant was in refused to renew the lease. And so he kicked her out of his building. And he's putting something else in there. So, anyway, oh, is T there? Where's T? I don't see you, T. Where are you? For some reason, not all the names are showing up. Okay, there you are. Hi. I've been catching some of your videos. Been catching a lot. Some I missed. Some of them are so early in the morning. I'm not awake that early in the morning. Of course, I know you have to work, so. But it's great hearing you, and it's really nice. So, I love you, T. Anyway, like I said here, I've been working everything else, been working my store, and yes, it's a long process, Nancy, and I'm still working on it. So, I'm going to be doing more of that today. Right now, my complex is holding a Veterans Day celebration today. And so, for a lot of veterans, well, I'm a daughter of a veteran, so, it's going to happen in about a half hour, a little over a half hour. So anyway, according to all this, Humpback, love you, T. Oh, T, I don't know if you heard on the news, I mentioned it earlier. Ukraine took back the district area of Kherson in Ukraine, took it back, and Russia's been kicked out. Russia retreated. So, hey Cassie. So like I said, and also I've been posting my rant on YouTube. So I need subscribers, guys. Invite your friends, like-minded friends, and as President Biden said, once everything is settled and everything is put away. Okay, Kathy, how you doing? I hope better. You should have, I know you shouldn't have broke something. So you'll know, Kathy, I'm going for surgery on my left hand in the next few weeks. I don't know what the date is yet. So, yeah, I was on the news this morning. About 3:15 a.m. their time. I don't know what it would be here, but, yeah, Ukraine doesn't play around. They, back in 18, if I remember my history right, back in 1814, Ukraine booted out Russia. Do you think Russia would learn and look at their history and learn? So, yeah. And also I stated in the news too that the island of the Tonga Island nation, okay, good. Yeah, it's still pretty tight in a lot of the races, and what they're doing. They're now counting ballots that come in from rural farm areas, rural areas, and so it takes longer. It's like it is here. Except Washington is mail-in ballots. But a lot of them are a combination of mail-in and at the polls. You have to go to the polls to vote. From what I understand, a lot of them are talking about, that sucks, Cassie. Oh, Cassie, thank you for your service, since you're a veteran, Armed Forces veteran. Thank you for your service. We love you. My dad served in the Air Force / Army Air Corps years ago. So, oh, I'm sure we will win too. Even the young people, Generation Z, wow, they've been really voting like crazy. Smart kids. They can see and hear what's happening. They really can. Well, I think it's about time for me to sign off. I'll be here on Monday as scheduled. And I'll keep you posted on all the other stuff that's happening. Next week, sometime next week, hold on a minute. We are, Artemis rocket is going to the moon on the 16th. The guy's scheduled to go. They had to hold off with Hurricane Nickel, and Hurricane Ian. They had to hold off on that. Okay, you too, Dusty. Love you. Bye-bye. So anyway, I will see you guys on Monday. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back. And I will post this on my YouTube channel. And tell others I need subscribers on my YouTube channel. It's free. So, come on in. Okay? I love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a good weekend. Okay, bye-bye.